Hey everyone, this is Shram from Learnacon, and in this video we are talking about first order systems in industrial automation. Have you ever wondered why some industrial processes react instantly while others take their time? Today we are breaking down one of the simplest and most important concepts in industrial automation, the first order systems. I'm going to skip the heavy theory part. You won't see any complex math, just pure intuition, real industrial examples, and clear visuals that make everything click. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to read the process response curve and what it actually means for control loop tuning and troubleshooting. Let's dive into it. A first order system is any process that reacts gradually instead of instantly. Think of first order system as something that needs time to catch up when you change its input. It doesn't jump. It eases into the new value. In process control, a first order system is characterized by its ability to store energy or mass, like the tank capacity, and a resistance to flow, like the outlet pipe. It has one main energy storage mechanism, like heat, pressure, or level. Look at below tank. When we change the input by opening the valve, the tank pressure or output of our system follows a smooth curve toward the new value. However, it takes time to reach the target. This is the simplest dynamic behavior we see in industrial automation systems. Every first order system is defined by a key characteristic called the time constant. The time constant describes how quickly the system responds to a change. The time constant, typically expressed by the Greek letter tau. After one time constant, the output reaches about 60% of its final value. After 3 time constants, the system is mostly settled. And after 5 time constants, the response is essentially complete. You can think of the time constant as the system's personality. A small time constant means a fast, responsive system. A large time constant means a slow and sluggish process that takes longer to settle. Okay, now let's look at some real industrial examples. Most industrial processes behave like first-order systems. They don't snap to a new value the moment you change something. The response is gradual, predictable, and smooth, more like a glide rather than a jump. A heated water tank illustrates this perfectly. When you flip the heater switch, the temperature doesn't instantly rise to the new set point. The water needs time to absorb energy molecule by molecule. This is the essence of a first order system. The system is always moving toward the target, just never all at once. The tank's physical characteristics determine how fast it responds. A large tank with lots of water has more thermal mass, so it heats slowly. A well-insulated tank holds onto heat better, so it approaches the final temperature more efficiently. A small, poorly insulated tank responds much faster, but also loses heat more easily. In other words, the size, insulation, and overall design of the tank defines its time constant, the built-in speed limit for how quickly the temperature can change. The bigger the tank, the longer it takes to respond. Another classic example of a first-order system is a water tank whose filling rate depends on the balance between a constant inflow and pressure-dependent outflow. When the tank is empty, it fills quickly because there is almost no water pushing down to drive flow out of the outlet. As the level rises, however, the increasing water column creates more pressure at the bottom, which increases the discharge rate. This produces a diminishing returns effect. The higher the water level gets, the slower it continues to rise. Even though the pump feeds water at a constant rate, the net gain decreases over time. Eventually, the system reaches a steady state where the inflow and outflow match exactly and the level stops changing. In simple terms, the tank behaves like a leaky bucket. It fills rapidly at first, but as the leak grows stronger with the rising water pressure, the filling slows until it finally levels off. To visualize how a first-order system behaves, we look at how it responds to a sudden change, typically represented as a step input. A first-order system step response rises quickly at first and then gradually slows as it approaches its final value. This curve has a very recognizable shape on the trend charts. It allows engineers to estimate how long a process will take to settle, and it's an essential tool for tuning and troubleshooting. When you understand the time constant, tuning a PID becomes much easier. You know how fast the process can realistically respond. You can predict how long a process needs to settle after a change. It also helps prevent aggressive tuning that causes overshoots or oscillation. This understanding saves time during commissioning and improves stability. Now you might wonder how to identify a first-order system. The good news is you don't need any special tools. Apply a small step change, watch the trend, and you will quickly see whether it behaves like a first-order system. You can even estimate the time constant by enabling when the output reaches roughly 63% of its final value. To summarize, here are the key takeaways. A first-order system is a process that responds gradually when you make a change. Nothing jumps instantly. Its defining feature is the time constant, which tells you how fast or slow the system reacts. Most industrial processes behave this way: temperature, level, pressure, and even many flow systems. When you understand this behavior, tuning a PID controllers become much easier because you know what the process can realistically do and how quickly it can respond. Okay, that was it. I hope now you have a clear understanding of what is the first-order system in industrial automation and how they behave. To support this channel, I appreciate if you subscribe, like, share, and provide your comments. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.